can sense your vast, indisputable power. Their fear is evident the minute you walk into the room. Their abrupt stillness and unfathomable uneasiness are all responses to your spiritual strength, even if you're just going about your daily business. Something about you makes folks nervous. Your blueprint was purposefully designed, forged in cosmic fire, and imprinted with frequencies that most people cannot comprehend. You found that when you tell the truth, people listen intently. Both responses are based on the same realization. Your words have power that extends beyond the physical world, even if others desperately want to silence you. You hold a great deal of responsibility for the mantle you bore, and the cosmic hierarchy recognized this in your soul profile. There is a cost to this height: more scrutiny, misunderstanding, and loneliness. Without a doubt, the reason for this question is because your energy contradicts the carefully crafted ideas that many people have about themselves. People see what they've been avoiding reflected back at them via your genuine presence. Some are excited about this change, while others cringe, desperately wanting to keep their comfy illusions. You were picked specifically because you can bear this weight. It just makes you more determined. Ordinary souls would crack under it. Your insight is extraordinary, and your spiritual DNA is quite strong. Your soul picked this ability knowing that it would result in loneliness, as well as the fact that seeing correctly typically required standing alone. So it did not emerge by random. Your heightened perception shows levels of reality that the average person does not notice. You see patterns that others overlook. You see tiny energy changes that occur before physical manifestation. People who have not connected with their own spiritual source are anxious when they see your genuine assurance. When you are entirely involved in your energy, your intrinsic authority serves as a reminder to others of their own disconnection from personal power. Rather of forcing them to confront their own compromises, you shine light on the areas where they have compromised. This illumination causes them great anguish, criticizing the light itself, implying that the problem is with your brightness rather than their perception, is easier for many people. These efforts to make you feel less relevant accelerate just when you are at most happiest, most confident, and most aligned. Your moments of complete alignment inspire the strongest feelings because they illustrate what is possible. Therefore, the timing is not random. Your happiness becomes tangible evidence that their constraints are self-imposed. Your divine purpose is to evolve. Resist the decrease. You generate necessary cosmic waves that influence worlds beyond physical experience. By refusing to diminish yourself, you may appreciate your enormous beauty. Allow those who cannot stand your light to seek refuge elsewhere owing to its high frequency. You might be detected in realms where ordinary people go about their regular lives without non-physical beings noticing. Your light goes across the universe. Not all of the attention attracted by this prominence is positive. The spiritual assaults you've received were not arbitrary. Your power endangers long-established systems that depend on people's continual unconsciousness. When someone like you starts fully using those systems, launch counterattacks on your relationships, money, health, and self-esteem. When someone becomes enraged for no apparent cause, strange conduct from others is usually evidence of supernatural intervention. Recognize impotence as a kind of non-physical resistance. When companies misinterpret your most obvious signals, or when roadblocks develop as you near breakthroughs, systems do not deploy resources against vulnerable targets. As a consequence, this opposition emphasizes your importance. Your potential impact is proportional to the level of resistance. It is vital to maintain effective spiritual protection. This isn't an option. Regularly cleanse and strengthen your energy membrane. If God's goodness has touched you, do not keep it a secret. Click super. Thank you. So, please consider donating $10 or more to help spread His light. Your giving generates a wave of grace, blessing hearts and strengthening His authority. Allow His riches to flow through you. Consider the energy you let into your surroundings as your power rises. The onslaught will continue. Their endurance reflects your efficiency. Every effort to undermine you is a watershed point in your ascent. Don't let these attacks dissuade you. Instead, wear them as badges of pride. Your experience is distinguished by the seeming paradox of wandering mostly alone. However, after making the necessary modifications, the proper connections will appear. These connections will give just what your next development phase needs, and they will come at the right time to improve rather than damage your field. In the meanwhile, enjoy your alone time. The The universe developed these hidden areas just for your speedy growth. The road of the spiritually acceptable requires discerning between people who really encourage awakening and those who use spiritual language to influence others. Both groups will emerge more often in your experience as the light intensity rises. It is vital to instantly grasp how to tell them apart. False guides follow typical patterns. They demand loyalty while providing confirmation. They encourage dependence while providing freedom. They highlight their own strength while minimizing yours. They demand adherence to their system while professing to embrace your individuality. They discuss love while retaining control. They provide unique knowledge while providing rehashed themes, and they position themselves at the center of your journey. True allies behave differently. They acknowledge your direct connection to the source and fully respect your sovereignty. They embrace your individuality without trying to change it. They present their views without seeking approval. They provide a secure environment for genuine discourse while keeping proper boundaries in public and private settings. They are constant. They emphasize your development above their power over you. The most hazardous false guides are so proficient at mixing distortion and truth that distinguishing between them requires sophisticated judgment. They give true insights as well as cunning manipulations. They organize life-changing events while also implementing dependency systems. They display actual skill in addition to well-planned performances. You may identify energy irregularities that others may not notice because of your increased sensitivity. Your presence has an unintentional impact on the surroundings. You've seen the unexpected ways in which your actual global mobility drives change. Individuals see you adopting your beliefs and copying your routines, often oblivious of your impact. This organic effect represents your role as a wayshower. Regardless of how the physical world reacts, the cosmic design guarantees that your real manifestation performs its original purpose, even if you just concentrate on your own actual alignment rather than how you affect others. Your role as a wayshower keeps things running smoothly. Boundaries are necessary survival methods for creatures of your spiritual caliber, not extravagances. There are frequencies in your energy field that may stimulate whole systems. Not everyone deserves equal access to your profession, time, attention, and a certain frequency. This valuable resource must be handled appropriately. Establishing strict limitations generally results in opposition. When you set adequate limitations, those who are used to having unlimited access to your energy are taken aback, offended, and even angry. Their statements indicate that they have high entitlement expectations and believe your resources are available to them. Instead of recommending that your limits be revisited, these remarks prove their importance. Learning to say no is a necessary spiritual skill for anybody carrying your level of light. You came here for a reason, whether you apologize, explain, or justify it. If you feel called, answer it. Click join to get access to unique content, deep insights, and a robust community. This is not just a membership. It's an awakening. Begin your heavenly mission. Join the Pict. The celestial treasures bestowed upon you are safeguarded by your number. You save energy for your primary purpose. By refusing to participate in draining dynamics and staying away from draining relationships, you maintain the integrity of your profession. These constraints are sacrosanct, not self-serving. They look after the cosmic investment that the universe made, not a lack of compassion. Your system was assigned specialized, energetic resources for certain objectives. Allowing the wasting of these resources is not a spiritual obligation. Instead, it contradicts cosmic law. Remember that practice makes perfect. Early attempts might cause pain, shame, and rejection anxiety. These responses are the result of obsolete teaching, rather than genuine spiritual instruction. Respecting your energy boundaries strengthens your discerning muscle. Every time you keep your field safe from attackers, you prove your dependability to the cosmic powers that have invested in your advancement. Respecting your bounds does not need long justifications. They understand the importance of your energy. Don't be outraged by its careful use. Instead of pushing your boundaries, they value your clarity. They recognize that, rather than being barriers to connection, your limitations serve as a container for your most effective work. Those betrayals that shattered your heart and made you rethink everything that had driven you to your knees in agony were not inadvertent cruelty. Rather, they were well-timed. Spiritual initiations aim to awaken latent elements of your multidimensional potential. Every major betrayal functioned as a purposeful breakdown of obsolete mental models. The intense emotional intensity provided enough energy to permanently change your views. The dizziness came to a standstill for a while. Restricting cognitive processes and inducing pain caused the essential cracks in calcified beliefs. These initiations accomplished in seconds what years of slow progress could never have. Your connection to specific results serves as a drive for your growth. According to the universe, these attachments may get in the way of your ultimate goal. When you become obsessed with certain forms, connections, positions, and expected recognitions all at once, the betrayals that demolished your meticulously crafted expectations freed you from constraints you would not have been able to overcome otherwise. Regardless of their conscious motivation, people who participated in these betrayals acted in your best interests and were essential to your activation process. This understanding just allows for an appreciation of the magnificent cosmic choreography that placed each player precisely where they needed to flourish. It does not seek personal reconciliation or verbal forgiveness. What seemed to be devastating losses turned out to be miraculous intervention. Every betrayal eliminated something that would have limited your next stage of progress. Every painful ending opened room for new beginnings. Every broken expectation released energy that had been trapped in a limited field of view. Your incredible endurance throughout these initiations shown you're ready for more leadership. Your ability to turn betrayal into understanding, sadness into empathy, and ends into new beginnings. These alchemical qualities designate you as a person of exceptional spiritual potential. Blessed by His grace, click Super. Thank you. And please give $10 to help spread His light. Your gift sows seeds that will grow His kingdom. Reap the benefits. Your initiations continue because you have shown that you can use them to progress rather than remain trapped in victim consciousness. There is no more space for hesitant expressions. To accomplish the cosmic plan, you must fully accept the authority inherent in your spiritual DNA. This authority is founded on an absolute comprehension of its divine status. It does not seek for permission. Seek permission or dilute it for simpler consumption. When you fully accept this power without being aware of it, many things happen. Lower frequency energy are quickly expelled from your field. The right connections will gravitate toward you and arrive at the ideal moment for your next stage of development. Your ability to materialize rises considerably, decreasing the period between idea and intention. Aligned animals like your presence. While misaligned systems find it more painful, there is a spiritual explanation for this polarization. It generates the essential sorting mechanisms that route energy to the proper conduits. Connections between organisms and their respective receivers and educators. This embodied power generates resistance. Anticipate and embrace it. The criticism emphasizes the effect on hardened systems. The allegations exposed frightening power structures. The reaction validates the successful disruption of previous patterns, all of which lead to a proper alignment with your cosmic function. Place your own expertise ahead of external criticism, especially from those with inadequate perspective. Their opinion is based on their own limitations, not the truth of what you're saying. When striving to understand people who operate at fundamentally different frequencies, you introduce extra ambiguity into your profession. If you want to attain your goal, you must get comfortable with making other people uncomfortable. Expanded awareness transmission constantly disturbs the status quo. Development involves upsetting familiar situations, but change needs breaking old habits. One of your responsibilities is to use your genuine presence to generate the required disruptions. Keep in mind that the proper people will not be afraid of your power. They will respect it. They will regard your authority as an advantage, not a danger. They will encourage your full expression rather than advocating for its restraint. Instead of fluctuating conditional acceptance, these matched linkages demonstrate themselves by steady, energetic coherence. The cosmos did not make you little, and your spiritual force was not bestowed for a humble display. So stand tall and proud. Background harmonics were not taken into account while calibrating your individual frequency. Now is the time to fully embody your spiritual destiny. All required support systems are in place to facilitate your greater expression, and the cosmic architecture is ready for full activation. Most people just notice the current move on the cosmic chessboard you're playing on, whereas others concentrate on single plane dynamics. You observe patterns in several dimensions, which extends your awareness outside the game, since they cannot see the levels you visit. Others are often perplexed by your decisions, which is explained by your wide perspective. Your unconscious understanding of your strategic position contributes to the deadlines you confront and the misery you cause. People think you have access to knowledge that is not available via normal methods, and your judgments take into account elements that are not immediately apparent. Your movements follow the universe's timeline rather than human expectations. Your seemingly inexplicable acts, erratic moves, unexpected career shifts, and the relationships you create or end follow patterns that can only be comprehended in a broader perspective. In cosmic strategy, what seems random to the limited senses is really well planned. Not everyone needs a thorough explanation of your cosmic coordinates. As a consequence, this full understanding implies the responsibility for guaranteeing proper disclosure. As your consciousness grows, it becomes more important to use care when exposing information that is beyond human choice or emotional comfort. The cosmic intelligence that directs your actions selects the optimal spot for greatest transforming impact. What differentiates you from those who are just concerned with their personal comfort is your desire to pursue this knowledge, even if it causes you some distress. Your unique qualities, perspectives, and challenges were carefully chosen for your strategic position. Your position was not randomly allocated. Your journey's lengthy, steady development phase is over. Trust the intelligence that has led you to this position. Now that you've entered the acceleration phase, moderate development has given way to exponential growth. This change explains the compressed teachings, the concurrent difficulties in several facets of your life, the quick synchronicities, the dwindling timescales between intention and manifestation, and the intensity of your current experience. This acceleration meets cosmic time restrictions. Certain cosmic alignments were required to activate your specific code, and they have already begun. Your expansions and energy portals have opened, and the obstacles that kept you from surpassing this vital activation level have now been overcome, indicating that you are prepared for the next acceleration. Despite the hurdles, your presence at this time displays your preparation for the current acceleration in this level. Encounters get more intense. Manifestations appear unexpectedly quickly, and courses deliver their critical lessons with brutally swift speed. What used to take years to accomplish now takes months, and what formerly took months to settle now takes weeks. Your increased powers must activate within certain cosmic windows in order to perform their intended role within the wider awakening cycle. Thus, compression has a function. This acceleration broadens your system while briefly confusing you. Increased frequency holdings, higher processing rates, and more complicated awareness integration are all necessary. Physical indications of this recalibration include greater sensitivity, atypical sleep patterns, bizarre energy swings, and unexpected emotional outbursts. Rather than implying a problem, these signs suggest successful upgrading at this time. Your usual support systems may be insufficient for high frequencies. It is critical to review past coping techniques, relationships, and spiritual practices. Some may disclose limitations that need release or considerable change, while others will update with you. Your recalibration is shielded from frequencies, but the temporary isolation induced by the sorting process stops it from expanding further. Trust in the acceleration. Discomfort is a sign of positive progress, not concern over interruption. Your system is capable of accommodating these upgrades. This phase was foreseen in your design, and your capacity grows seamlessly to handle the frequencies now downloading over your field. All of the necessary precautions for this acceleration phase have been included into the cosmic architecture that will govern your progress throughout the encounter. Unquestionable indicators support your spiritual strength. These appear as distinct patterns that are statistically impossible to ignore. Throughout your journey, there are no subtle cues that need complex interpretation. The exact statistics that keep track of you at vital times, the animals that arrive at pivotal moments with messages you comprehend, and the nightmares that anticipate events before they occur. Synchronicities that mathematically confirm your path. Strangers approach you with messages that answer your unspoken inquiries. All of these symptoms are common in your experience. They emerge during transitional eras, congregate at critical turning points, and continuously confirm your link to intelligence sources outside of regular information systems. whether patterns correlate to your emotional state. When you're present, technology behaves differently, and animals and children react in ways that adults have learned to ignore. Sensing frequencies provides you unexplainable knowledge of places you've never been and skills you've never studied before. Instead of ego approval, these indications act as navigational markers, confirming that you are aligned with cosmic coordinates and receiving guidance. Recognize the affirmations without becoming attached to them. They emerge when they are useful to your trip and vanish when their absence is more advantageous to your spiritual growth. Two-factor authentication. Your unmistakable signs follow certain patterns that are unique to your code or confirmation language. Your ultimate goal is to serve as a calibrated tool for higher consciousness integration into physical systems, which goes beyond your specialized tasks. Because of your particular setup, you can manage frequencies that would overwhelm most human operating systems. You've anchored some light codes that are critical for the current stage of development. Your difficulties honed your instrument, which included betrayals, anger, misunderstandings, and loneliness. Every challenge increased your resilience, broadened your tolerance for complexity, and altered your system for higher precision. What seemed to be punishment was really a necessary preparation for commitments that few individuals could handle. Your worried responses indicate that you are a pattern disruptor. Well-established systems recognize your potential to add frequencies that need rearranging, resulting in both a wonderful awakening and a scary instability. When operating systems identify your capacity to activate latent codes inside their design, they generate frequencies that interact with all entities that enter your realm. Your physical presence functions as a walking transmission tower. This transfer happens automatically. The clarity of the signal depends on your actual alignment. This ultimate goal goes beyond social recognition, geographical location, relationship status, and professional identity. These outside influences may help your transmission perform. However, they neither define nor limit. Your instrument was finely tuned for its cosmic mission. Trust the design. Your authentic presence makes your goal a reality. Your authority is derived from this perfect calibration rather than from outside. Validate. Now is the moment to completely embrace your spiritual power. Allow your instrument to communicate as loudly as possible. The universe placed you precisely where your signal is most effective. With a complete knowledge of the repercussions, your spirit accepts this obligation. The universe did not make you little, and your particular frequency was not intended for background harmonics. Stand tall in your magnificence. Now is the time to fully embody your spiritual destiny. It's time.